Welcome my people. Welcome back to the UG Farm Vlogs. It has been quite long. I missed you people, and I know you missed me too. So in today's video, from the title of our vlog, it says common mistakes in goat farming business. So for today, we are looking at goat farming as a business. So we know that every business has challenges. There are challenges everywhere and there are mistakes. And in life as people, we do make mistakes, but we learn from the mistakes. So even in goat farming, it's not something you just wake up very early in the morning and you start from nowhere. No, we know that there are mistakes made. And of course, these mistakes have made a lot of farmers to hate the farming or the goat farming and also end up quitting the enterprise. So for today, we shall look at these common mistakes. And we know that these common mistakes, they are the ones that lower productivity, and also they reduce on the incomes or profits of the farm, because the ultimate goal is making profits. So for today, let's look at the common mistakes that maybe you have made or someone was about to make in the goat farming business. So number one, we have what we call lack of knowledge and poor planning. So what do I mean here? With the lack of knowledge and poor planning is that one principle or one thing you should know is that you should know the rules of the game before playing it. So before going to goat farming, most of the farmers lack skills and training, because before this you need to go into goat seminars, boot camps, conferences, so that you learn from people who are doing it on a large scale. And another thing is on poor planning, whereby it will come from the other side of the capital. You have small capital, but you're planning beyond your resources. And of course, I always tell my farmers, have big dreams, but start small. You'll get there. Start small with what you can afford. Keep on improving it. Then you will also move on, or you'll make it. And of course, when you come to poor planning, is whereby we have someone who wants to do goat farming, but he has not planned well on resource allocation. What do I mean? We need to have land, we need pastures, we need the labor, we need veterinary services. But due to poor planning, you fail to do so. And of course, every mistake has its own consequences. When we move to mistake number two that people make is what we call poor breed selection. With the poor breed selection is that when you make a wrong choice in the breeds, it means you are out of the game. For example, if you're focusing on producing goats for meat, this is the right breed you go for. We have the Kalahari, we have the Savannah, and the Boer goats. If you want milk, go for the dairy goats, the Togensburg, the Sanin, the Lamacha, and so on. And also, if you want to do a purpose, there are breeds there, or you can crossbreed. So make sure that you choose right breeds. So if you go for poor breeds, it means they will be having slow growth, also slow productivity, and also they would have poor adaptability according to your climate or environment, because we know the environment also, it affects on the productivity of our goats. So that's mistake number two, poor breed selection. The third one is poor feeding. Most of the farmers, they feed their goats low quality pastures. For example, if you are doing free range, it means in the grazing pastures, they will not have everything or a balanced diet for these goats to enhance on their growth, productivity, and also fertility. So you need to do what we call supplementary feeding. So many farmers go wrong with the feeding. So even if you have a good breed or good genetics, but you don't feed them well, it means they will not perform to their expectations. Then also, mistake number three. Mistake number four, yeah, I think we are number four. Mistake number four is the poor housing and shelter. You find that most farmers, their goat pens are not to a standard. We advise you to have a raised goat pen so that you minimize disease outbreaks. For example, if you have a goat pen that is poorly ventilated and also it is not rainproof, it means there will be dampness. And here we shall have cases of pneumonia due to accumulation of the ammonia gas or the urine from these goats. And also the poor aeration will cause respiratory distress to the goats. Then mistake number 4 that farmers make is poor breeding management. So poor breeding management is different from poor breed selection. With the poor breeding management, I mean you have your goats, but you don't know which male mate with the female. And in that case, we shall have many cases of inbreeding. And of course, we know that one of the outcomes of inbreeding is what we call the inbreeding depression. That is the reduced performance of the offsprings. So you should have records. You should know which back mates with the other. And of course, make sure that you always choose superior backs. Then another mistake is in neglecting health management. With health management, I will focus on biosecurity because biosecurity, it is a set of all the measures that are put in place to prevent the spread, introduction, transmission of diseases within our goats or between the goats. So it should be within the farms, neighboring farms, or within the goats that we are having. So now, when we talk of neglecting health management, I'm talking to a farmer who doesn't pay care on vaccination programs, who does not deworm the animals, who does not do parasite control, and also a farmer who doesn't monitor his or her farm on signs of disease outbreak. And also biosecurity goes deeper in even hygiene, whereby we should have a foot bath at the gate or the entry of the gate of the farm. And also we should make sure that we limit or we restrict entry of visitors from different farms. That is the whole of biosecurity. Every measure and even quarantine. When you introduce new animals, make sure that you put them in an isolation or a quarantine itself. Monitor them for any sign of disease, treat them, because most of the animals that we buy do not have records. We always buy animals from the livestock markets, which is not right, because most of those animals, they are culled. So another factor or common mistake that I can take is poor record keeping. With poor record keeping is where we get farmers that they don't know the kidding records, the breeding records, the health records, the breeding records, the sales records, and you're in the farming journey. So if you don't have the records, it means it will be very hard to track the performance of your goat farm. Personally, I face a lot of challenges when I meet most of the farmers, because I do field, I do the treatment, consultancy, but you find someone, they don't have records for treatment and expect you to treat that animal without any record. They don't have any information at all. So there is no record or proper record keeping. That is another big mistake. So how would you track that you're performing better or there are areas of improvement? Then lastly, I will also talk about poor pasture management and overstocking. When I talk of overstocking, I mean a farmer who has a small land like this one. This is almost an acre. And now you have over 100 goats and you're keeping them in this small piece of land. But even the pastures that are in this land cannot even sustain these animals for a year. In actual sense, we know that an acre of land or pastures, it can feed a maximum of 50 goats in a year. So it means now for you overstocking, and yet we know that land is a fixed resource. And one of the factors of production is land. So if you don't have land, but you're overstocking, it means you are against the nature. So make sure that you try to regulate the number of animals if at all you're operating in a very small space. And that's why I advise farmers that when you're buying land, I know most rural areas, land is still affordable. I would not say that it is cheap because we are in different locations. So it is still affordable. An acre can go for 3 million plus. So make sure that when you're buying land, buy from someone or an area where there is hope or where you can expand. Buy from a farmer. Are you saying like from the background? Assuming you buy here, make sure that there is, let me say, there is space for expansion in the future. You can keep on buying more land as you grow your farm big, because this farm may be a breeding farm. So it means you will go in thousands of goats. So buy land from places which allows you to expand in the future. Don't go in the town, you know, there is a lot of corriding in the town or overcrowding. Go in the village where people are still green about, the prices of land. Secure your good land. Don't worry about the market. So with poor pasture management, we talk about the pasture garden, because we know that the pasture garden, it is, let me say, your feed bank for the animals. So when you're not managing your pastures well, it means in the coming months or in the future, your animals will be out of feeds, which will incur costs in your pocket to go and buy from other farmers who are doing pasture growing as a business, or if not, you go for commercial feeds. Lastly but not least, I will talk about the poor market research. You are a farmer outside there, you want to begin goat farming, but you even don't know the price of a kid. Uh-huh. You don't know the price of a buck. You don't know the price of a female goat. And of course, we know that in history, personally I've grown, but I've never seen prices of meat fluctuating, but rather they keep increasing. So make sure that you have the market research, because it is the biggest mistake that farmers do. And of course, if you don't have the market information, or if you don't do market research, it means the middlemen or traders will take advantage of you by paying you less costs, and for them it will be an advantage to their side. They get more because they are informed about the market prices. So make sure that you do research on the prices. How much does goat meat buy from your country? For us in Uganda, I know according to your location, it is 20,000 Ugandan shilling a kilo of chevon or goat meat. So make sure you are informed so that you don't make losses. And also, you make sure that the people you deal with, for example, if you're supplying to abattoir people, and in case you're in the beef or in the meat production of goats, make sure that your people are trustworthy. Make sure you get people who can pay in cash. Don't get people who pay after some time. No, let them buy the live weight at wholesale price. So above all, that has been for today's video. Let me know in the comment section what you think about today's video. What common mistakes have you ever done? And also, keep adding more of the mistakes that you have seen farmers do, so that we can help a farmer outside there to make this farming of the goat business more beautiful than, people call it scary, but it's all about improving on those mistakes, perfecting in them. Then we shall have the good output from the goat business. So in case you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, liking the video, commenting, sharing, so that we can grow this channel together. Thank you for watching. See you in another video. Bye.